Hi folks, this is Jin and welcome to another video on my channel. Today I'm going to install electrical sockets remaining in this room. The last group here is intended for 4 sockets. I will remove the temporary socket I was using throughout the renovation and install the final socket group. I have already turned off the fuses for the sockets. I usually secure a room with 2 lines, one dedicated line for lights with 10 ampere and one is for sockets with 16 ampere. The light line is has wires with 1.5 square millimeters. For sockets is 2.5 square millimeters. Now let's remove the cover. Now let's make sure the sockets are disabled. I don't see any light on the indicator screwdriver. By the way, finding such an indicator, phase indicator screwdriver was really difficult in Finland, so I was looking for that in K-Rauta, Puilo and other shops and did not find it. I found it in a shop where goods are sold which have been damaged. It's called Vahinkotavarakeskus. And that's where I found this screwdriver for like €1 or maybe less. And let's remove the screws holding the case of this socket. I will be using it in other rooms where I will do renovation, because the sockets there in other rooms are without potential earth, only null and phase. So let's see how to get them out. Should be pretty straightforward, but it somehow does not want to. Now we will do a radical move. And we'll take care of it later. So I will use those sockets as a distribution socket along with sockets. They are deep enough, so the incoming line is here. It is shared with this group, and inside of these sockets you see there's an additional number of wires available. I need to create an additional group, so there will be one socket, another one, and then side I have to fork it also for 2 sockets. Never use a bridge from one socket to another, to another, to another. This will produce a fire hazard. Always do it the way that you have a hub which you distribute to each socket. Never make it dependent. So for instance, one socket has a shortage or burns, this will have effect on neighboring socket. If you distribute it from one place with proper fork, the hazard of sparks or shortages or fire will be reduced. So I have here 3 times 2.5 square millimeters cable, similar to NYM cables. In Finland they are marked at MMJ, but they're really similar. Same setup. You have 3 wires, then burning fire reducing hose around it, and then PVC hose for mechanical protection. Now I will get some wires from here to connect to the sockets, and first I need to remove the protection. For that I use this simple tool. It's quite universal, and you don't need any specific tools for that. With this I can get rid of the so-called jacket. I have here a razor like that. Then I have here a pin. It cuts the coat here, and then I can easily take it off and then remove the fire stopping inlay. And now I have 3 wires needed to connect socket. Just clip them off. Like that. So as you see, this is a very universal handy tool. Costs around 12 euro, either from Amazon or from Pull or wherever. The costs are almost seriously similar. I got it from Amazon, but I realized later I could even have bought it from a local Pull. Right, so let's do the same for the wires I have cut off because could not remove them from the old socket. see, it's very fast. And now let's add the now it's in the terminal. All the cables are connected. This one should be maybe corrected, and this one as well. Let's fix that. Fixed. Let's fix that. So now you see that all the wires are completely through the end of a terminal, so the connection would be 100%. I'm going to use Schneider Electric sockets. I just like the line, and looking at the electrical accessoires like switches and sockets, the variety in Finnish shops is very limited, and I did not want to install ugly looking and bloody expensive electrical equipment. So I ordered these sockets from Germany, and it worked quite fine, except that they sent me the wrong sockets. They sent me sockets without child protection, even though I ordered the ones with child protection. But they paid me the fee for sending back the wrong sockets, and they sent me again the correct one. So a really good shop in Hamburg, which was delivering me those sockets. So let's unpack them and install the two sockets on the right side, and then continue with the other ones. So there you go. This is the frame which we are going to install. So I was told to install the sockets the way that the face is on the right side and 0 null is on the left side, and that's how I usually do it. So keep this rule. There is a different meaning from different people, but I just tend to, if I do a renovation in a home, on a flat or in a whole house, then to be consistent, if I start to install sockets with the face on the right side, it will be on the right side everywhere. Why is it so? There are different stories about it, and somehow, I don't know, if you pull out the socket or you plug it in, and you are less likely to be hit by electricity if it's on the right side. I don't know, don't really know, but I think it is important to be consistent. So let's connect. And then I usually bend it like this in order to create a kind of a snake or a zigzag pattern, ensuring that the cables will have enough room and don't jump out like this. Half of the work done. Now let's fix the sockets to the cans. I don't know how you call it, cans or jars, electrical jars. I mean, it's called it's somehow called, right, in English. I will not name it in other languages. I do know the name of it in other languages. I don't know the English name for it. But anyway. So if you are lucky, you can just loosen the screws and position it in place. But with the second one, there would be difficulties. So let's do it this way. I will not screw it tight right now because I have to install 4 sockets in a row and use a common frame for them. So later on I will do some pulling and pushing in order to establish the correct position. And now same story here. I have to fork out correspondingly one line for one socket and one line for the other socket. And I will be using these terminals for it. For that I will be requiring a loose wire for that, and something like about this size. It's usually a little bit of eye measuring how much do you need, and you would be always on the secure side if you cut off a little bit more than required. But looking on the prices of the material, you have to develop a sense of how much you cut off if you don't need it. Like, nothing is cheap anymore these days, right? So it will be something like that. Yeah, fair enough. And remove the cord. So I have a set of wires. Now let's get those naked as well. Strip them. I think that's the right term. Let's strip them of the isolation. always use fingers if you connect wires to something. Never use any other tools for that, because you could destroy the isolation, and that trains your fingers as well to bend the wires. I mean, I saw installations where all the electrical wiring for a flat were performed with 1.5 square meters wiring, because it was easier for light, for sockets. The sockets were breached to each other, going from room to room. That was a nightmare. So now the sockets are in line, and I will fit. We'll check first if they deliver power, and then fit the frame. I went downstairs and turned on the fuses. Let's check. Yeah. Yes. 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 Here, a closer view for the ones who are curious. You have to have a contact with your body in order to produce light. Here. And 0 is 0. Now I have a frame. So there you go, the last sockets are installed in this room. Hey, now let's test. Great success. This was it for today. Thanks for watching, and see you in another video. Goodbye.